Students, how are you? I believe all of you are healthy and happy wherever you are. Students, what is life? Life is not a long period of time. Life is not an year. It's not a day. It's the moment. The moment that is passing by, right here, right now. And if you cannot enjoy life to the fullest, something is taking you down, something is confining you. It's important to get out of that and live life with all its wonders and enjoy each and every moment of it. That is why it is said that tough times never last, but tough people do. And when these tough people get over the fears, they create history, maybe not for the world, but for themselves. We are going to go through chapter number 3 of Flamingo Deep Water, and this one is an introduction to that. It is written by William Douglas, who was born in Maine, Minnesota. After graduating with a Bachelor's of Arts in English as well as in Economics, he spent 2 years teaching high school in Yakima. However, he got tired of this and decided to pursue a legal career. Then he met Franklin D. Roosevelt at Yale and became an advisor and friend to the president. Douglas was a leading advocate of individual rights. He retired in 1975 with a term lasting 36 years and remains the longest serving justice in the history of the court. So as you can understand from this part that Mr. William Douglas was a man of law and he was very close to the then president, Mr. Roosevelt, and he held a very respectful position in this particular area, that is the law and justice. But this particular chapter talks about his time when he was a young boy and how he grew up under the shadow of the fear of water, that is also known as hydrophobia, which he developed due to a misadventure or a very difficult time in his life. The following is an excerpt taken from Of Men and Mountains by William O. Douglas. It reveals how, as a young boy, William Douglas nearly drowned in a swimming pool. In this essay, he talks about his fear of water and thereafter how he finally overcame it. Notice how the autobiographical part of the selection is used to support his discussion of fear. This is about the author, this particular paragraph. And here we come to know two parts. Number one, a little about the life of Mr. William Douglas and also about the chapter. Very importantly, it is in the autobiographical manner, that it is a first-hand account. The first-hand account of the person who was drowning, the person who felt the fear, the person who became hydrophobic for many years, the same person who decided to overcome his fears and become courageous, dedicated, used his willpower to live the life to the fullest. When it comes as a first-hand account, nothing can surpass it. No other person can write it down for you. When you narrate it, you feel the same fear, the same courage, the same dedication all over again. And that is clearly visible in this essay written by Mr. William O. Douglas. After every chapter's text and question answers, we have the theme too. Here also the theme is written, as you can see, the real life experience, the personal account of experiencing fear and the steps taken to overcome it. This is the theme of the chapter. Through this chapter, we learn that how William Douglas was nearly drowned in a swimming pool and how he was entrapped in fear for many years, but then he decided to overcome his fear, and why it is so important to overcome your fears. The sub-theme is the psychological analysis of fear, because when you are experiencing a calamity, when you are experiencing a problem, a situation like that, like drowning in a swimming pool, only you can experience those 3, 4, 5 minutes all by yourself. How you try to clutch something, how you try to hold on to life, how you try so hard to be alive and not to die. This can only be experienced by the person who was in the swimming pool. Moving forward, this is Mr. William O. Douglas sitting beside a canoe. And later in the chapter you will come to know what a canoe is. But he is here sitting beside a water body. After many years, after his childhood experience, overcoming the fear, he was in a position to stand water, to stand in water, to swim in water, to enjoy all the water sports. And this picture shows it all. This is the book from which the chapter is taken, of Men and Mountains. And as you can see in the picture, Mr. William Douglas is having such a wide smile and confidence on his face. It was not easy to bring this smile and confidence on his face. He struggled really hard for that. So, dear students, this chapter is going to teach us that how fear is, how big it is, how largely it can affect a person's mind, body and soul. But then, even that humongous fear can be overcome. Even that huge fear can be shattered down. Let no fear confine you. Let your willpower rule you. So I believe that after reading the chapter, understanding the chapter, you will get over with your fears and try to overcome them. This is an autobiographical account written by William O. Douglas. And again, coming back to the square one, tough times never last, but tough people do. William Douglas, as we know him today, as a man of justice, an advisor to President Roosevelt, how he became that, how he is so famous today, how he is a personality to look up to, because he overcame his fear, he overcame the tough times, and that is how he is lasting forever. So, after this, we will take up the chapter, the text one by one. Thank you.